Now, for our audience who's watching, I'm not sure if anybody noticed a couple of small but very, very important critical things. Nick, I noticed at one point in time you closed your eyes. Can you maybe tell me, why you closed your eyes?
Yeah, I feel like I just like to experiment with the feeling of with the eyes closed and the eyes open. I noticed when my eyes were closed, I could feel my hands go in and out a lot more than when my eyes were open. Like I said, I just want to practice it with eyes closed and open. One, for the feeling, but two, in a game, obviously, when it comes to playing the sport, you have to play with your eyes open.
Right. And so Nick just mentioned some critical things. The fancy term in psychology is interoceptive awareness, getting that inner feeling. And one of the things I would encourage goalies to do is practice doing it eyes closed first. And I know that's going to sound a little bit weird, but the very thing that Nick just mentioned, it would allow you to feel the sensations of the breath more than with the eyes open. So feeling that coolness of the air coming in, the warmth going out of the nose, feeling that lateral expansion and contraction, and you will get forward and backward. Could you feel everything?
Oh yeah, with my whole hand, I could definitely feel it, yeah.
Now the other thing that Nick mentioned is eventually we want to get it to the point where we're doing it eyes open. And I always share that story, Nick. My goalie coach, I remember the very first time I was doing quick feet ladder drills in the hallway, and he asked me what I was doing that for. And it sounds like such an obvious question. I said, well, to make my feet faster. And then he turned around and he said, well, what are you doing that for? And I said, well, if I've got a 2-on-1 and I got to get across the crease quickly. He said, oh, so there's a game purpose. And one of the things I want to emphasize at the end of the day, bottom line, all of this is to stop more pucks, right?
Yeah.
Now, so Nick mentioned doing it eyes open. And you need to do this eyes open because we play, as Nick mentioned, we play with our eyes open. And when you go to do this practice, there might be a lot more distractions, external distractions that might take you off task. But how do we get good at something?
Practice.
Right. Now, I don't know if you were aware of this, Nick, but I put it on for 2 minutes. Did that feel like 2 minutes?
No, it felt like it was a lot quicker than that.
Okay. Now, again, I was always taught, I don't care if it's dry land training, mental training, vision training, technical training, that it ultimately at the end of the day has to relate back onto the ice. It has to have a game purpose. Any reason why I may have picked 2 minutes?
Power play.
That's exactly right. So what we're doing is we're learning how to simulate, what we're going to do on the ice. So having said that, we're going to do the same thing now, Nick, but what I'd like you to do is literally now go into your stance.
Okay.
So again, that neutral pelvis, good athletic posture, head trajectory. Now again, if we're practicing being in that good athletic stance while we're doing our breathing, we're just simulating what we're going to do on the ice. So same thing. Again, this time what I'm going to do is I will put, I'll put an object in front here. Now obviously it'd be great if you have a puck, but just for camera purposes, put this ball here, okay? And again, you're just bringing your eyes and you're going to go into your stance, just like you were on the ice, okay? And again, a lot of the things that you're working on at dry land training, you're going to be bringing it here. So we're just replicating what we're going to do on the ice. Same thing. Again, feeling that light, smooth, right? Gentle air passing in. Feeling that lateral contraction and expansion. Now the question that I get asked all the time is, John, will I always have to put my hands there? What do you think, Nick?
I don't think so. I just think you have to kind of get the hang of it first.
Right. And so I normally tell, and it varies. All the research shows, it takes anywhere from 3 weeks all the way up to 254 days where it becomes part of you. And everybody's going to be a little bit different. So normally I tell guys for the first few weeks, put their hands there, and then eventually the body will take over. And same with the cadence. If you're listening to this guided CD enough, eventually it'll just become part of you where you don't even have to quote unquote think about that cadence anymore. Your body just will be breathing at that rhythm because you've changed the set point. Okay, so again, what we're doing, again, there's so many benefits and we could spend hours talking about it, But when Nick is practicing this deep breathing, he's strengthening his diaphragm muscle. Well, again, now when we're moving, because our core is stronger, right now we're not opening up holes. So again, a lot of these things, we'll spend time on another video talking about the benefits, but the main reason is stop more pucks. And when we're doing this type of breath work, it's going to allow us to achieve so many different benefits in terms of our performance on the ice. And functional breathing equates to functional movement, and that's what we're working on. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start up again, going into your stance. We're going to do it for 2 minutes.